Okay, so I think that's about as good as she's gonna get. Hello, my name is Ryan. I am a makeup artist and licensed esthetician in the state of Illinois, and I thought it would be fun for people to see a licensed beautician to review products, because there's a lot of people who review products, but not very many people who are actually like licensed. So I always think it'd be fun to get the perspective of people who use these products for a living professionally and how to like go to school and get licensed. So I can also comment on some of the ingredients and stuff because I have that knowledge, which I think is interesting for other people. So I'm going to be looking at the Beetlejuice collection from Melt Cosmetics. It was released in December. I'm not quite sure what day. Haven't done a lot of research on it. I just walked into Sephora to get a vitamin C serum. Saw these just chilling in the new section, and I was like, what is this? I'm seeing Beetlejuice. I'm seeing colors. I didn't know what was happening. So yeah, they decided to launch something more appropriate for Halloween in December. I'm all for it. Spooky all year round. So there's two palettes. There is Recently Deceased, which is the one I am most excited to get into. Get into it. Recently Deceased, nice. And then this one has a more fun box. The Waiting Room. She's got like little holographic. Do you see it? Like the little sparkles, they're also like holographic. They got some holographic bits to them. But the box isn't why we're here. So we're gonna open the box and slide her out. I thought one side said, yeah, one side when you open it has a little quote from the movie. Like this one says, "Is this what happens when you die?" Because you know they're in the waiting room. The palette container. She's just plastic. She's like a clear plastic, very like it's like red, a red clear plastic. You can get a better look at it this side, with some art on there. And then you open her up. Inside there is a mirror and this. And so this is like a clear piece of plastic with like a still from the movie on it. Get into it. So it's not just like a normal picture, because you see if I like put it over a dark surface, you can't really, there's no light shining through it, you can't really see. It's like a clear film. Sort of like you're old enough to remember when cameras used like actual film and you would get like the little mini versions. This is kind of what that is like the little mini picture on the actual film. And then you get this palette. Let's see, that's pretty true to color. We're gonna see. So it's like all reds and gray tones, which is, I don't know, I like it. I love a good red. A good red is essential. And hopefully this will give you at least 5. Yeah, so yeah, 2 matte reds and then 4 matte colors on the bottom and then several shimmers. It's a nice, I think it's one more matte than shimmer, but you know, a good split. So we'll be playing with that one. And this is the one I'm excited about. So again, purple box. Purple's my favorite color. We love this box. We love the purple stripe. She is the moment. And then inside, oh, wrong side. Inside of this one, first of all, it's bright green. And it just says Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And this one is bright neon green, upside down. Bright neon green. This is the Recently Deceased palette. It's the same kind of clear plastic. This one's much more evident on camera. So you open this one, the little still you get is standing when they're like in the little miniature town. See that? That's the shiny side. There's like a matte side, so it won't be so reflective. You see? Cute, right? I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I saw in the store, like in Sephora, they have them taped over the mirrors like this because they fit perfectly. I think that's cute. Ooh, look at that. You can see my monitor. So I might do that. I think that's cute. But look at these colors. Look at the colors. This is so fun. So this top row is like yellows and a green, and then there's just all these purples. And I say this in the most enthusiastic way possible. These are some disgusting purples. I never really see purples quite like some of these. Like you get lavenders and you get other kinds of purples, but you never really get this like a slimy purple. They're very Halloween-y colors. Like even here, these like this is just like straight like gray with a little bit of, there's like a little brown in there. They're like French gray. If you don't know what French gray is, like a brown hued gray. It's mostly, as far as I'm aware, mostly just used in like art terminology, but I've never seen like French grays in a palette, so these are fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swatch them, and then we're gonna probably do like one on each eye or a couple looks. We'll see how I feel. And so what I'm gonna do with swatching is I like the technique that is used by this one woman who works in the beauty industry. She's not a beautician of any sort, I don't think. I think she said before she is not, but her name is Stephanie Nicole. Love her videos because she's very analytical with it. I'm gonna follow the swatching method kind of done by Stephanie Nicole. If that's her name, I think that's her name, because I just like how kind of non-biased it is, because most people just do swatches with their finger, which, you know, is great, I guess. It's okay for shimmers, because a lot of people apply shimmers with your finger, but you should really swatch them how you apply them. And so what she does is she takes a primer. She uses Urban Decay Primer Potion, which personally I don't like. So I'm going to be using my MAC paint pot. We love her. This is this one in soft ochre because I have golden tones to my skin. And so I'm going to put that on my arm, and I'm going to take 2 brushes. So for the fluffier shadows, don't mind how dirty the handles are. We clean the bristles, not the handles. At least I don't, because I'm lazy. For the matte shadows, I'm going to use this brush. It is a Sephora brush, the Must Have Powder Shadow number 60. I don't know if they still make this one. I got this ages and ages ago, but this is the one I like. Similar to the one she uses as far as shape and size and texture. And then for metallics, I know a lot of people use synthetic bristles. I like natural hair bristles best for shimmers. I feel it grips them a little bit better. So I'm going to be using this Morphe brush. I know it's Morphe. It's dual-ended. It's got this big end. That's the end we're going to be using, the bigger, flat. She's going to be for the metallics. So I'm gonna do the primer, swatch the shadows with the brushes, and then in between each color, we're going to clean it off on my little blank slate. It's just one of those little sponges that you can just wipe off your eyeshadows on, so there's no dampness, no different colors kind of getting transferred. And then after I'm gonna play with some looks, I guess. Now I'm gonna do some eye looks. So what I think I wanna do, so I cannot wait. I wanna jump right into the recently deceased palette. We're gonna jump right into her. And let me grab, I'm thinking I can do one on each eye. Because it looks like they have it set up for like 2 different looks. Like there's a top row and then a bottom row, or you can mix and match, although mixing purple and yellow together, kind of hard, just how she be. I'm gonna mix it up just a little bit. I will jump around. We'll see what happens. I'm probably gonna do at least 2 different looks though. We may or may not get some looks out of the red palette. I don't know. It'll depend on how I feel. So I'm gonna prime this eye with my paint pot. All right, so now I'm going to dip into Beetlejuice, this kind of neon-y green. She seems fun to play with. Let's see. I'm just using a fluffy brush from a Sephora collection years ago. You definitely cannot get this brush anymore, but it's held up really well for me, so I just keep using it. It's one of my favorites. I love her. So we're just gonna run Beetlejuice through the crease just a little bit, kind of first like packing it, like tapping it, and then just kind of gently sweeping it and disperse. I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit. So the color is pretty vibrant. I don't know how bright it would be on darker skin tones. I am very fair. So with colors like these on darker skin, you typically want to put down a brighter, like a lighter primer, just so if you want those colors to be bright and not muted at all. So we're just gonna kind of blend that all over. It almost, there we go, focus for me. There we go. Almost has a lot of dimension by itself, which is interesting. I didn't expect that. But then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to take one of my favorite little brushes. Typically I use it in the crease. I might use it to kind of diffuse this with some of that yellow. This is a Morphe M506. So we're gonna see, I wish this, I like when a palette, the mirror can go like almost all the way straight, so it's like vertical. I won't complain too much because I like to get in there and I don't want to be like dipping my chin into the colors. I'll take some of this yellow run it along the perimeter. If you don't have this brush, get it. Great for detail work on the upper and the lower lash line. I've used it on both. I'm really just going all the way around where I place the green. We're smoking it out with yellow. Very pretty, very nice. And then I'm not going to stick just with the top row. I am going to bring in some purple. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Too Faced glitter glue. It's my favorite shimmer primer. If you have hooded lids like I do, you always want to use like a sticky base for a shimmer, whether it's concealer or glitter glue or a shimmer glue, eyelash glue. Don't use hair glue. Don't use hair glue. Don't use hair glue on your eyes. Don't use it on your eyelashes. Hair glue isn't even supposed to go on your skin. It's meant to construct a wig. Don't use hair glue for anything other than its intended purpose. Anyway, I put that right on my lid, and then we're going to recently deceased. We're going to take her on my brush, the same brush I use for swatches. The numbers wore off of it, and we're just going to kind of place her kind of neatly, kind of fake cutting the crease, but not really clean. I'm not going to be mad about it. Ooh, looking crazy. I love it. And then, just so it's not me looking insane, gonna bring her up into the crease just a little bit, not too much. There we go. I think that's very fun, very fun. And then for the lower lash line, I think I'm just gonna do just, you know what? I wonder how that applies kind of smoked out. No, that'll be too many different colors. We're gonna take just Draw a Door on this Ofra 105. I got this back in my kit when I was in school. And Ofra brushes, they ain't bad. So we're just gonna, oop, there was a little bit of fallout from the shimmer, the gold mostly. I'm just gonna brush that away. Now we're just gonna take the yellow. We're just gonna kind of connect it to the yellow we had out here. Gonna bring her on in. I don't like to bring my lower lash colors too far in. I usually leave at least like a little pinky's worth of space, because if you bring a color all the way, it can, if you're not careful, close off your eye. This yellow blends so well. It can make your eye, it can kind of close your eye off and make it look a little bit smaller, which nobody wants that. So then I'm gonna take the other end of the brush I used to apply the shimmers. I'm gonna use the little tiny end. I'm gonna dip back into Neurotic. I'm just gonna load her up. That's gonna go on the intercorner, because I want to look insane. The crazier I look, the happier I will be. Oh yeah. Oh yes. We're gonna take a little bit, just a teensy bit. I love a brow bone highlight. Just adds more dimension, especially because they don't have a lot of there's no dark crease shades in here. I think this palette is meant for you to look a little crazy, a little unhinged, which is what we're achieving, what we're giving, it's what we're serving. I do not like how harsh that is. So I'm just going to take the same brush that I had the green on. I'm not adding anything. I am just going around the edge though. I don't like I'm not a fan of the semi-fake cut crease moment anymore. Should have done this earlier. I would do it earlier if I was anybody else, but I'm me, so I'm stupid. I'm going to blend the gold everywhere on accident. That's okay, because then we just take some more of the purple, reinforce her. Okay, see, that's cute. That's cuter. Nicer when it's all kind of blended out together. Yeah, definitely you look like a crazy person with this palette on. I'm for it. I'm about it. I like to walk outside and look completely unhinged. That's my favorite. Don't know about anybody else. So the other side, we're gonna do something more purpley. We're gonna do a purple eye now. So first, I'm going to prime my eye. Just gonna take a little bit of that primer on my fingertip. We're just gonna pat her in. Try not to swipe too much because your eye skin is very delicate. We don't want to be tugging. We don't want to be pulling, because you will get wrinkles very young if you're not gentle with it. And nobody wants that, do we? I'm gonna take just a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a Sephora Pro Blending large 27, and I'm going to dip right into Bio Exorcist. We're gonna kind of swish her around. There's a little bit of kickback in the pan. I don't care. I don't think anybody should care. Ooh. I don't really think anyone should care that much. There was a little bit of fallout right there, but that was because I had overloaded the brush. So that was my bad. Because once I keep that through the crease, we're just going to blend her up and out. All right, and then once we're done with that, we're going to take on back on my Morphe M506. We cleaned her off. We're going to take a little bit of Lost Souls. Pop her right on the outer portion of the crease. This one, I could tell from swatching her, she's going to need a little bit more love, a little bit more attention, but we're placing her on top of another shadow, so she should, if there's patchiness, it's not going to be as noticeable. We're just going to kind of keep slowly building that up. And that's really cute. And then just to make sure the blending is good, we're just going to take the brush that we use the crease color with. We're just going to run over any lines. Okay, and then we're going to take just a pinch of the Too Faced glitter glue. We're going to throw that right. I got confused because in my camera everything's backwards. We're going to throw that right on the crease. Not on the crease, on the lid. I don't know English. It's fine. Who needs English? And then we're going to take another flat brush by Ofra. This one is the Ofra 04. I'm going to take Neurotic. I know I already used that one, but I'm not putting green with this purple. I'm just not. And also, you can't tell me. I need one look that looks a little less crazy. I didn't want to put a dark green on this. I felt like the green with the purple over here was already a really bold choice. And we needed a break. We needed a moment. So let me just get this all over the lid, kind of bring her in. We're going to even put her on the inner corner just a little bit because there's no other real shade I can do that with. Kind of bring her under the eye just a touch. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take just one of these Anastasia brushes that come with her palettes. I actually like these a lot. I know a lot of people don't. But I'm going to take Little Accident, which is the lighter purple shimmer. I'm going to take that on the end that is more like stiff. And there's a lot on there. I like every once in a while taking a shimmer under the eye. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take a shimmer, we're going to run her under there, and we're just going to marry it into... Well, actually, you don't want to blend purple and yellow too much together. Then you'll get a really muddy color, and nobody wants that. So we're just going to kind of just bring them nice and close, make them kiss. Yes. See, that's nice. I like that. That's pretty. Okay, so I threw some mascara on. I don't like to wear lashes much, especially since I'm gonna just be wiping this off in a minute anyway. Wow, this looks a lot harsher than it does in real life. Let me tell you, we're gonna be taking some pictures because this blend is not messing with you. And it looks like it's messing with you, and it's not. But I use the Love Your Curves mascara from Collab. You can get this at Sally Beauty. Can't get it no Sephora, no Ulta. It's exclusive to Sally's. I love these are some of the best mascaras I've ever used. I love Collab, actually. I might go and because I have mascara, I have a brow product from them, I have eyeshadow and lipsticks. I might go get complexion products and we can do a full face of Collab because they're bomb as hell. Yes, these are the two looks that you can kind of have with the recently deceased palette. I obviously was a little bit more creative. Like you could have just followed the gold and purple color schemes, but I was like, this movie, first of all, very like clashy. I'm doing what the movie would want, what the director and the actors. I'm following the essence, which is make it a little bit ugly, just a little bit crazy. I mean, I don't think it's ugly. I think it's this eye is real cute. Gold with purple is never a bad idea. I think the green on this one throws you off a little bit. I don't know if I'd do that again. I might have used the purple more as an accent instead of the full lid. It's like, because like I said, it's hard to blend it in, but it's cute. I like it. So next we're probably going to do a look with the waiting room. We're gonna do a couple looks with that. So let's see what that has to do with for us. We are back. I had to redo my under eye concealer. I don't know how people, I mean, it doesn't look bad on camera. It doesn't look bad on camera, but I don't know how people do like multiple looks and then not look crazy. Because if you see me in person, like there's like a line. It looks crazy. But we're gonna play around with the waiting room now. You know, this red and smoky. Did I mention they press such cute little images onto the matte shadows? This one has the lower half of the woman with her legs crossed, Beetlejuice's face. Show them. Thank you. I think it's cute. I'm gonna do this one. So of course, first we're gonna prime the eyelid. I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a very smoky look first, like a very like black look, and then we'll do like a more fun red one. So I think that'll be good. I think that'll be fun. I think that's the plan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics all over shadow / crease dual-ended brush to take the. I'm just gonna start with the lightest gray. So tap into her just very gently with the bigger, fluffier end. And we're just gonna kind of fluff it all over. Just kind of get a nice little kind of transition. Okay, and then once we kind of have that kind of blended out, we're gonna take the smaller end, dip it into Tombstone, the medium gray, kind of like on the side of the brush, you see, just on the, and we're just gonna bring that just a little bit lower, and we're gonna put that all over in the crease. We're just gonna kind of fluff her around too, but lower, more on the outer part. We're not gonna bring it all the way in, did with Shrunken Head. We're not gonna do that. We are just going to, on the lower half, those blend together very nice. And we're going to switch back over onto the Shrunken Head side without any extra product on it. We're just going to kind of make sure everything is married together very nicely. Perfect. And then I'm going to take my Morphe M506 once again after I kind of scrub her clean. And dip right into the black, Mr. Charman. Very, like that one likes to fluff up a lot, so we're just gonna kind of pack her on right here at the very edge, very outer V, and just kind of blend it out gently. You don't want to get too vigorous with the very dark colors, because you blend it out too far, then suddenly that's how you get the raccoon eye. I'm working with dark colors. Is if you blend it out too much and then it's in places where you didn't want it to be, and then you're like, oops, panda raccoon eyes. So the black has a little bit of fallout to it. It's one of the more loosely, probably the loosest pressed shadow in the whole collection. Going back into the brush we use for Shrunken Head, and we're just making sure everything is married together. Very pretty. And then this one excites me because I'm going to use my finger for it. I'm going to take a little bit of my glitter glue, Too Faced, and on the front half of the lid. We're not going to take it all over the lid. We're going to do like the front. You can't really see what I'm doing. The front half, front 2/3, because I brought the black in a little bit. You can see. I'm going to take on like my pinky. Just going to put her in Juno. It feels very soft. But yes, it's very kind of flaky. Dip her right in Juno. And then we're just going to kind of tap. Oh, that's very pretty. This is like the classic smoky eye moment. Very pretty. Do you see how reflective that is? So pretty. We love to see it. We love to see it. I mean, there's fallout with this one too, unfortunately, but I kind of saw that coming. I mean, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs or whatever the hell the saying is. I think that's it. I think I'm correct. I usually am. Just gonna brush that away. I'm going to take another Anastasia brush with the stiffer end because I have like 7 Anastasia palettes because I have a problem. And we're just gonna take, I don't want to be too dark underneath, so we're just gonna take Shrunken Head, just on the tip, and kind of run that under, not too far in, even less than like we did with like the other eyes. So we're just gonna bring this in only about halfway. Only about halfway. We don't want to close the eye off. We're gonna take, what are you? A Sephora, this is a lip brush. I'm gonna use it for my eyes. We're gonna dip it right into the white, the sandworm, and we are going to kind of see how that works on the inner corner. I love a matte inner corner highlight. I think it's a good look. I think it's an underappreciated look. And you can see it's like, it's nice. It doesn't have to be super bold and shiny. I just realized some of that shimmer from earlier is on my nose. That's nice. I'm sure that looked fantastic. It was totally intentional because I am the most talented makeup artist in the world. Thank you. That's why you've all heard of me. I have a huge following and reputation. This is not my first video. It's a lie. But if I lie enough, eventually somebody's going to believe it. So that's that. I just very basic focus on me. Black. I love that it's focusing on everything except me. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna grab one of my Anastasia brushes that I haven't used. We're gonna take the fluffy end. We're gonna dip it into Obituary, which is the lighter red. We love to see it. I'm gonna grab a lot because I remember the swatch, the pigment was kind of back it and where I need it. It's so much darker than it looks in the palette. Like, look at that. This is Obituary. Does that translate? No, it doesn't translate, and that's what's upsetting to me. It looks darker on the eye, which is common, but it's like, if it doesn't even show up true to color on me, and I am the same color as these blinds and this wall behind me. That's why I think my camera has a hard time focusing. I'm just gonna stamp that one in. That's what I like to do with colors that have a harder time not being patchy. I'll stamp it on first and kind of buff it. I find that helps. Just a little. If this is showing up dark on me, I have to imagine for other people they're gonna be like, excuse me, what in the world is this? And then we're gonna see in just a second, because when I swatched them, Obituary and No Exit were very close to each other, closer than they should have been. So we're gonna see. We're gonna extend this. It's red. Might as well make it kind of a vampy, extended, blown out, more editorial moment, right? Why didn't you do editorial moments with the yellow and the purple? Those were already editorial based on the color choices. So leave me alone. Right, I should have. Don't know why I didn't. So we're just gonna kind of keep buffing. And I'm going to keep buffing, and I will be back when I'm done with this. So we took care of her, and she blended out nice. It took a second. She's a little stiff, like I knew she would be. But now we're going to take No Exit, which is her darker sister. Just going to kind of swirl in there with my Morphe M506, the same one. I love her. I'm obsessed. And we're going to pack it on in there, and that looks like the same color. That is Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Maybe if I just keep applying more. Okay, so that's not really doing it. I wanted some more depth, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a little bit of the black, and we're just gonna kind of smoke it. Kind of deepen up this outer V. There we go. See, that's what I was wanting from that darker red. Let me just take something got smudged, so we're just gonna blend that really quick. That's what I was wanting. I don't know why it wasn't giving it to me. Do you see a second, like, do you see how much darker? You see, right? You see how much darker? This is a lot lighter than that. They looked the same. So that was interesting. That was neat. I knew that was gonna happen, yet I was still surprised. Don't at me. So I'm feeling, since those were all so dark, I wanna do is, let's just go full Twilight Vampire. We're going back to 2007, right? That was 2007, 2020, 2012 is what I meant. 2007 and 2012. That was like Twilight. Those are like the Twilight times, right? I think so. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll get mad. Mostly myself. So we're just gonna take Lydia. We're just gonna load up my brush, and we're gonna tap her on. Oh, there we go. That's very bright. That's exactly what I was wanting. Thank you. Thank you. Someone actually showed up to work today. She was like, I'm here. I'm here. I'm ready to be the center of attention. Oh, and she blends nice around the edges too. I'm noticing that. This palette does have a moderate amount of fallout. Not an issue for me. I don't really care. I'm gonna take Sod Girl on my Ofra brush from earlier. We're gonna run that underneath. We're gonna see what that does for me. Okay, so there's definitely more fallout with there's definitely fallout with Sod Girl if you use her, like if you're buffing her. She doesn't like that. That's her problem, and she's gonna have to work that out on her own. Sweep her away. And then thinking that I'm gonna take Juno, we're gonna take her on a tiny little brush, and we're gonna see how she works. If she can work as an inner corner highlight. She might not want to. She might clock out early and be like, no. What if I do it on my finger? Will that do it? So Juno is a shade that looks like you have to use your finger. Otherwise she's just not, or like a mixing medium or something to make her stick to the brush. Otherwise you have to use your finger. Which, whatever. That's typically how it is with chunky shadows anyway. Mascara on the lip and we'll have final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts. I just threw on mascara and Verve by MAC because she never lets me down. I felt like she kind of fit the kind of maroon focus, the maroony kind of vibe, because she's like a brick red, brick brown kind of moment. Anyway, no regrets. So the Beetlejuice and Melt collection. This is my first ever Melt product, by the way. I've never used Melt shadows before. I used to hear a lot about them, like the stacks. Y'all remember the stacks? The Rust stack was like it. She was the moment. Actually, you know what? Let me let my hair down. I just feel like with the hair down, you get more of the fantasy. You get more of the, you get to be in the moment. Gotta give you all the fantasy. Gotta get the fantasy. Gotta live in the moment. So final thoughts are they worth it? Are they fun? Because if I remember, first of all, they're two different prices. I didn't mention that. This one, the red one, the waiting room, I think was $58, so it's about $60. And I think Recently Deceased was almost $10 cheaper. If I remember, it was $48. I would have to pull up my receipts on my phone to see. So I don't know why they were such like different prices for being the same size. You got the same amount. You got the same launch. Like, it's weird. So I think they're nice enough. I am very picky with eyeshadow. My favorite formula has to be like ABH. That's kind of what I compare most things to. If I ever find something better than that, then I guess I'll start comparing things to that. But as of right now, ABH and their palettes and their singles both are kind of like my go-to. So I wouldn't put these on the same level as that. I wouldn't say that they are like ABH level, like my favorite all-time, like my new favorite brand for eyeshadow. I think they're the packaging, super cute. I love these little stills that you get I think they're very cute. They're the same price. They're about the same price. This one's actually a little bit more expensive than the ABH palette, and you get less shadows. I think, yeah, you get less colors. But if you like Beetlejuice and if you like Melt Cosmetic, you might look at this and go, that's it. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I ever needed is this. So if you like this kind of like spooky, bloody, vampy vibes, I like the vibes of this. The vibes are nice. The shadows work well. I don't like that these two reds, that Obituary and No Exit, I don't like that these are the same. They don't look the same in the palette. They look very different. Well, not very different, but clearly there should be a difference. There's like two shades of like difference in these. On the eye, exactly the same. But luckily you get like a black in there, so you can darken it. You can play around with like the grays, although I don't know if you'd want to mix the red with the grays, but the black in there is helpful, and so is the white. Bitch is thirsty. Anyway, don't say nothing, mind your business. This one, she's cute. She's fun, but these are all kind of colors that I've seen before. The exception being like, I don't really have like such a red, like this is like almost like a brown, but it's still a red. So this is unique. I like this. These reds I kind of have, so like what I do like though is I really like the grays. I like these right here, these two grays. Very pretty. This black is nice. She's a little powdery, but it's nice because it's not overly pigmented. And you'd think that would be a bad thing, but with blacks, some blacks are almost too dark, almost too pigmented, where it's like if you aren't expecting it or not used to working with really pigmented like black shadows, it is very easy to ruin a look and overwhelm yourself. So we don't want that. This one's nice. She's a little powdery. There's a little bit of fallout, but it didn't stick. You can see there's no sticking. I didn't put highlighter on. That's fine. But there's no fallout that stuck. And it was easy to build up the black and get it to where I want. The white is cute. It could have more pigment. My go-to white is another ABH one. It is from Riviera palette. So I mean, I kind of have a lot of these colors already. I might still play with this a little bit. The silver is cute, but I have silvers like it that I can use a brush with. So, I mean, she's pretty, she's reflective. She's glittery, she's chunky. So we like that, but I'm gonna play with it. So the recently deceased palette, the one I was most excited about, I'm still happy with. So these colors all worked pretty well. I know it didn't really look like I blended out the green as well as I could have, but I did. It was just, this is my first time like recording with this camera, and I don't know why, but it wanted to make it look harsh. It sounds like excuses, I know. But I've been doing this for a minute. I know how to be blended. These show up a lot, like the blending shows up a lot better with these looks. These are very bright, very just disgusting colors, and I absolutely adore them. Just look how, they're just gross. I love it. Just very like Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, very like that era of weird comedic horror movies. I don't know, not horror. I don't know. They were a genre unto themselves. I loved the colors. The only one I wasn't thrilled with was Paranormal, the kind of like dark green. But I'm assuming if I use it with my finger, yeah, look at that. So it's much better with a finger than with a brush. Almost like black. Almost get a black moment with like a green shift. So that's really pretty. And I like the purples. Purple's hard to formulate, so I can forgive a little bit of patchiness. Even some of my favorite purples I have to work with sometime. But no, but this was cute. I wish these two shimmers were more reflective, but they're a little bit more subdued. Not everything can be super loud, I guess. I just like the colors. So yes, this, I love this. I love that it's a little bit cheaper than the other one. I love the weird, crazy colors. I love that they work well. Yes, this one, love her. She's sticking around. She's not going anywhere. New favorite. All in all, I'd say if you like collecting makeup, they're nice to have in your collection because they're cute. They're nice to look at. The packaging is adorable. These little cards, cute. If you like Beetlejuice and you like makeup, it's fun. Go ahead and grab it. If you don't have any reds, this is a good one. Although again, these two matte, they're the same. But if you like that color, if you like this color, you won't run out. You won't run out. If you like movies, if you like collecting, just like collector's items, you like this era of film history, sure, go ahead. Go and grab them. They're going quickly though. You better run. You better run. I had, like, the first Sephora I went to only had this one. And I was determined to get this one. So I had to take an Uber for like half an hour to get to another Sephora to get this one. And I had to call ahead and have them put it on hold because I was like, if I get there and they don't have any, I'm going to burn the store down. And luckily that didn't have to happen. So, yeah, I think this one's fun. Snatch this one if you can. If you like fun colors, if you like purple, if you're like a yellow or a green person, just very fun. There are some shades in here that are everyday wearable. You can use it to supplement your other collection. Like, that's what I want to kind of do. I'm going to use it to supplement because I don't own these colors yet. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. One's worth it. One's kind of so-so depending on what you're into. I mean, they're very, like this, it gave me some very pretty looks. Very pretty looks. Very workable, very wearable. I just like this better. So that was my first attempt at making a little review. I thought that would be fun. I thought it'd be cute. I just feel like, as somebody who has done, a couple of brides, has done a lot of girls for homecoming and prom. I have a younger sister, and all of her friends would come to me. So I would do like 5 girls in a day. I've just done, a lot of other people. I've done a lot of myself. I went to school for it. So, like, knowing the color theory, knowing how formulations kind of work, I thought it'd be fun to be able to sit down and do a quick little review of a palette and give a insider, a beautician's thoughts. And especially because I had never reviewed this brand before. I've been curious about Melt, and I'm still kind of curious. The difference in quality between these shadows was kind of interesting. It's almost like a hit or miss, even almost on a shadow by shadow basis. So I'm curious to see future products by them. Maybe I'll try more. They had other palettes, who knows. But I mean, if you like this video, I'm gonna do a fun little YouTuber outro. Like, I have people that follow me. I mean, if you don't, you should. If you do, I'll make more content. I promise I'll be louder and more exciting in the future. I'm just very nervous right now. I'm sorry. I'll be louder and more exciting. And I don't know, I'll review other products. I like to review products as they come out, but I can also review products that you've just been curious about for a long time. There are things that I've been curious about but haven't had a good excuse to try. So if somebody tells me they want to see me do it, that gives me an excuse to spend my money. So yeah, I hope that was fun. Leave comments, likes, subscribes, because I hopefully will be making more content. And if you want to see that, I need to see that there are people that want to see more content. I need to see it. Subscribe. Okay, hit the button. But also leave comments, because I love attention. And if I don't get attention, I get very sad. And I think we all need attention right now in the year of our Lord 2020. I'm almost dying because I have not been able to have attention or penis all year. So help me help you help me is what I'm saying. Anyway, it is 11 p.m. I'm going to go wash my face now. Always wash your face at night and in the morning. Please wash your face, especially if you're wearing makeup. But I'm gonna go wash my face so I don't break out, and go to bed because I have work in the morning. All right, so hopefully this isn't terrible. Now how do I turn this thing off? Let me